jump out the plane. I'm shooting. I'm next to like a fellow teammate who's like a stormtrooper. He's currently shooting Tanjiro, and then I see like a ferry in a jet, in an A-10 Warthog. He's about to fly off, and then someone invites me to like their squad or whatever. I sit down. Who is next to me? It's some guy cosplaying like a Genshin character. And who am I playing as? I'm just playing like some Dark Souls guy with like a cool robe or whatever. And then I reset, and then I'm Doge.
And then I'm
And I'm this iced tea is very good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, wherever you are in the world. It's the third party podcast. It's like afternoon, night now. We just six, whatever you consider night. But yeah, it's nighttime right now. Here with he's on this side. I'm not sure where it is on the
other side.
the episode. Yeah, other side. This is Josh.
Yes.
And I'm Alex. I do the motion design stuff. He does VFX character animation stuff.
Thank you for adding character animation.
Yeah. With the mocap suit, just to clarify.
No, I do character animation. I made Lucy's hip swing like just earlier yesterday.
Oh yeah. But you also do like the mocap stuff.
Yeah. Well, now I do. Yeah.
Yeah. But basically, we do like 3D stuff. 2D? Fuck him. I'm kidding.
2D? Fuck it. Now we do some 2D stuff. To be fair, I'll do like sometimes I'll have my iPad. I'll bring up Procreate and then I'll animate a little bit or draw. And sometimes I'll do it for an edit, like impact frames.
You can animate on like I used to animate on like 2D like hand draw stuff, but it's not really as fun as 3D. I do still do it as like part of like small commissions stuff like that.
Yeah, I'll do it for a project. I won't do it as like a main thing. So.
Yeah, I still do. I've been doing a lot of 2D the past few months, but for just like small, just like other commissions. I don't show it on my portfolio because the last thing I want is like on the freelance side is people to hire me for that kind of stuff.
For the 2D stuff, yeah.
But I do it like just in case. It's also good to practice on it, so I'm a bit more flexible. But that's besides the.
Well, I did
topic.
I did want to mention one thing before we move on. You know the Ian Huber method, obviously, with like getting an image and then extruding bits of it in and out for buildings. I do that with like 2D drawing sometimes. I'll draw like a face of a building and then I'll extrude it in to do like a stylistic building.
Oh, that's pretty cool actually. That's pretty smart. Yeah. But basically we were talking about like the immersion of like video games and shows before and after.
Yeah.
So
like
so it's a bit
before knowing VFX or CGI and all that, and then after,
VFX and afterwards. So a good so I have a story of like watching something like the the Marvel movie Shang-Chi, the Chinese superhero. Yeah.
Kind of recently.
So when I watched that movie, I was like, the story is good, but because during that time I was into like CG and CG and like 3D and motion design, and simulation, to be more specific. It was very interesting, and it was very cool to see it and be like, wow, like this is pretty cool. I maybe know how it's done, but there's so many like advanced effects that I haven't seen before. Way before I got into like Marvel, it was all about just like the storyline, like is it like interesting?
Yes.
But after that, basically any movie after Endgame, that's when I got into like this kind of artsy stuff, right?
I think I started into it like Infinity War, around then, a little bit before Infinity War. I think maybe the first Avengers was when I started getting into 3D. Actually, no, it had to be Infinity War. It wasn't Endgame though. I know I was into it before then.
Mine was just right after Endgame, like the movies after that. And then when I watched it, I'm like, movies after that, like it was cool, but sometimes I got headaches leaving the cinema just because of thinking like, how do people like come up with this kind of stuff,
Yeah.
So it's like really interesting.
It is.
Kind of thing, and yeah.
What's like a scene in like, let's say Shang-Chi that you were like, how the fuck did they do this? Like, do you have a scene?
So you've seen the movie, right?
Yeah, I did.
You know when they get like the sister and Sean.
Yeah.
They have like a similar necklace, right? So I remember when like was it the father who connected it, and then there's like this water scene, right?
Yes, 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 yeah. I know what you're talking
Yeah,
about.
that when I saw that happen, I'm like, whoa, it's cool. It's like a water thing, and it turns into like a watery like forest. I'm like, yo, wow. And my brother was like, cause he knows me. My brother was looking at me in the cinema. He's like, shut the fuck up. I don't want to hear it. I don't care. I just want to listen to the movie because he's like, and I'm like, but bro, like, he's like Houdini and stuff, and he's like, shut the fuck up.
Houdini.
When we were watching Avatar, I was gonna pick. I was gonna be quiet because like honestly, I don't know how anything is done there because it's like super good.
Yeah,
But he's like, look
that's
at me.
hard.
He's not even. He's like, look at me straight, and I'm like, I didn't even say anything. I just tapped him on the shoulder just to talk about like the story and stuff like that. And he's like, I'm actually gonna hit you. Shut up. I'm gonna hit you. Like, I
Look
want
at
to
the
say
water.
something.
Look at the water retention on the leather.
The water, the water, the water, the water. Whoa! And it's like, shut up.
I see you're
even
very interested in
even
water.
even at home when we were watching I was watching like the Croods because like my little like sister wanted like me and my brother to watch it,
Yeah.
right? And obviously because it's a 3D movie, it's like a 3D cartoon. It was a very good movie by the way.
Yeah, I know. I've seen
The
it.
only
There are a
I
lot of
haven't
stuff like that. In like even the
I haven't
cartoony
seen
kind of movies.
yeah, I haven't seen the second one, but the first one was really nice.
Yeah, that's the one I
But
watched.
then but then he was like, but then like my brother was like, Alex, please just let me watch the movie. Shut up. And I was like, it's really cool. You got all these like cool like simulations and stuff like that. What really interests me is the animation and how like they exaggerate things and how fluid it
Yes,
is.
I
You
I want to learn a lot more of like like the techniques involved, which I know a little bit about with like squash and stretch and how to amplify that in animation, but it is very hard to get good at.
yeah they after getting into 3D, I started appreciating these 3D movies a lot more because I know how taxing it is and how long it can take to make like huge environments, like huge cities and stuff like that. There was one movie I watched. It was about this Canadian Chinese girl who turned into like a red bear. Do you know that movie? I forgot the name of it.
Who
It was by
turned into a red bear? No, I don't think I've heard of
I
that.
can search for it.
Um,
Movie that turns into a red.
Send it to me on send it to me on
Turning Red.
Discord
Do you know?
or Instagram would probably be preferable.
I was on Discord. Do you know Turning Red?
Huh?
Turning Red.
Turning red.
Yeah, I'll send it on Discord.
I can just look it up.
It's
No, don't send it on Discord because I can't really. I don't even want to open it. Oh wait, is this the pop movie? Oh no, this one, right? You're not.
yeah.
Never mind. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
So yeah, so I watched that movie and honestly,
I do.
I'm
know
not gonna really
that.
lie. It's a decent movie. It's not like one of the best ones. I've seen like a lot of better. I prefer some other cartoon shows, but
Have you seen?
what caught my eye was like damn, like this. It's for like a stylistic kind of thing. The animation is pretty damn good and stuff like that. So it's
Yeah.
like wow.
It's like I've seen clips of it. I know it looks good. Have you seen Mitchell saves the Mitchell? Fuck. I watched
don't.
this. Mitchell saves the world.
I don't know. Oh, a movie that would really give you headaches is Love, Death, Robots. I mean, not movie, sorry, TV show. All the episodes there with the different styles and different animations. Like, after getting into like the art stuff, it makes you really think. It's like, these like
Mitchell's
these pretty...
versus the Machines.
No, I don't think I've seen Mitchell.
It's very stylized and it has a lot of traits that clearly like it's very Pixar, but they took a lot of like the comic book ideas from Spider-Verse and like kind of used a lot of like stuff like that. It's a good movie. It's animated well.
It feels like a movie that would come out of the Blender studio.
It kind of.
I mean,
it's on Netflix, I think.
It feels like this style like that. I don't know. I can take a look at it. But yeah. But like shows, movies like that. Like when you look at it, like after becoming like an artist, depending on which side you're on. If you're like into 3D, it's like, wow. If you're into 2D, I think you would find more appreciation if you're watching something like anime or
Old
like a
Disney
2D
movies.
animated show.
I don't know any
Yeah.
2D animated shows anymore besides anime.
Yeah, same with me. Maybe because like we don't really look for that stuff. I mean, I don't look for it.
Yeah, but like,
I just look
oh, you know
into just
what? I could
general.
think of like Cartoon Network mainly, and but even then, it's yeah, I guess you could see the same thing with the Cartoon Network stuff, like Steven Universe or something like that.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
mean, those are older,
yeah.
but I guess
I
maybe there's new stuff
I
out there.
yeah. I remember I saw this guy and he was like showing like his showreel, and he's like my animation showed, and I clicked on it, and a lot of the scenes look like canon, like they look like actual scenes from the anime, and it's like one guy, and this is like two D animated drawings, and he did all like the coloring and stuff like that. It's like crazy, right? Because like you have people like artists who would work on they're like a one-man studio. They'll do like a texturing, the modeling, and all of that stuff. And anyone can do it, but it's just super long. And
Yeah, yeah.
when I saw this one guy, I can't get I don't remember his name because I saw his video though, but I don't remember his channel. Um, he had this like showreel and he did like all the animations, all the like coloring, and it was like other like it was like shows like he did like Chainsaw Man kind of fan made shots and stuff like that, and it looked like it was from there. And then I'm like wow, like it's pretty crazy, like how you can do this.
Yeah.
And then it makes you think like I think a comparison to him would be like if you look at Ian Hubert, he had like a 30-minute whole like short film episode kind of thing. He made like pretty much most of the assets, did a lot of the texturing. He even did the camera work and all of that stuff and the animation. And it's like the technology now has made it possible to make it more it's more accessible and it's a lot flexible.
Yeah.
Like I guess like you could say like maybe 10 years ago it's not that easy, especially
Oh yeah,
with the
no.
resource programs.
No,
But right
to be
now,
fair, if 10 years ago like Ian Hubert was a thing, it still would have
it was
been
a
because like the techniques that Ian Hubert does were stuff that could have been done 10 years ago.
yeah,
To be
but
fair.
it's more about like the resources and the tools that are available right now, especially
Yeah,
with
I mean
Blender. People who want to just
there's
run into
still
3D.
some things, definitely. But I think there are like a lot of techniques that were just like discovered because of like guys like him that probably could have been done. Like images as planes, extruding like bits of them, that could have been done long
Yeah,
ago, but no one did it. Or they might
yeah,
have
but
done
not
it, but it
because
wasn't. I don't know.
I think when COVID hit, everyone was on the internet more, right? Because they were at home. So what else do you do apart from just watching TV? You have the internet. So,
Yeah.
uh, like me, I started like Blender and Cinema 4D when COVID. I mean, I started Cinema 4D when COVID hit, and a few months after I started Blender. So that's pretty much the only reason why I actually got into learning it. Because I was like, COVID hit, I got like time on my hands, and then it's like
Yeah. I mean, I
learn the
was a
thing.
little bit into 3D before
Yeah,
COVID,
same. But
but
then like
I never did full 3D until COVID started, which
yeah,
is
yeah.
crazy.
I mean, I was into it. I was like, this is interesting. But when COVID hit, then I really was like, I think we're gonna be here for a while. So I really decided like, okay, I'm gonna like spend a lot of time, like full days, full weeks on learning Cinema 4D. And I'm like, and when I started seeing progress and seeing that things started clicking, I'm like, it was like, wow, if I keep this going, like who knows how far this can go. And then I got into Blender and making my own animation stuff like that. And it was
Yeah.
pretty interesting. And now I'm seeing people who are like from the AMV community getting into 3D and like their first render will be like,
Hmm.
because they know how high the standard is. Like for a first render, it's like really good. It's
Yeah,
like,
for
wow,
the
it
first
looks
render, there's
amazing.
a lot of people out there that I'm like, damn, that's your first render. Nice.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean,
But then
it's hard for me to compare myself to like a lot of the people that are just starting out too, because I know a lot of them are really taking their time in the learning process, where I've basically jumped into like fucking everything at once. Like
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
doing
yeah, yeah.
character
So
animation immediately, environments, modeling.
yeah,
So it's hard to learn, I think, as fast as some of these guys are currently.
There's like a difference between like someone who's first render, like you like learning it and posting and all of that stuff, and then one guy who spent like I don't know a week trying to learn, and then he made this first render. Like there's a difference between that, you know.
Yeah.
What really it boils down to is like how long have you been actually like using the program. I've seen, especially on Reddit, or you know, on Reddit, there's like, guys, this is my first render. It's like laid up perfectly cut, like perfectly, like you know, like randomized colored grass, nice sunlighting, and people in the comments were like, bullshit. How long have you been using Blender? And then the guy's like, it's my first render with Blender actually. I've been using Maya for 10 years. It's like, it's just why? Why couldn't you
Yeah.
mention that earlier? And you get
Yeah.
so much hate. And I'm like, I even look at him like, there's no way this. So he's like, it's like, he got so much hate, and I'm like, bro, this is not your. How can this be your first render? And he mentions, I've been using Maya for like 10
You have to
years. This is
say
my
that it's
first
a.
render with
You have to
Blender.
say it's a first Blender render. I hate
He
that
just
Blender
say it's the
render
first.
rhymes like that.
Yeah, for me, I would be like, my first animation using this. There'll be ones who will clarify like I'm a motion. I'm a character, 3D character animator. I've been using Maya for 10 years. Here's my first animation on Blender. And it's like decent, you know? And it's like a first render, and people will understand. But if you just say first render,
I
and
don't
it
even think
comes up with
I've.
something like
I
really
don't
cool,
even
it's
think
like,
I've
it's not.
ever said first render on anything. Like, cause back in the AMV times, I was using 3D, and I never called it like my first render. I just 3D tracked a character into a scene. It was like, okay, that's my thing. I know people are just more into the 3D community now. Personally, all right, I actually have a question. Do you think, because now I'm thinking about it, do you think the editing community is more toxic than the 3D community?
No.
You don't think it's
See, the thing
more or
is,
less? More or less.
no,
Okay.
I can explain a bit why. So the thing is, okay, this is very generally like not just AMVs but the editing community as a whole compared to the 2D and 3D ones. So the AMV communities, they're like they have a bunch of egos, and they some of them have, you know, there's also the groups and stuff like that. And some of them will be just shitting on others like, yeah, this is doesn't you don't know how to edit whatever. 3D and 2D, there is there's like a bigger community, and there's also like an industry, right? And the thing is, if you're known to be a toxic person, right? Depending on your connections or your following, not only will the community know, but the industry would know. So, for example, let's
Oh
say
yeah, it's
you're
definitely a lot
you're
harder for us to be toxic.
let's yeah. I mean, and also if you can't take criticism, people will also know that, right? So, for example, you know the editor, the toxic editor that we know, who's a like,
Oh, the one we talked.
censor.
Yeah, we talked. No, we don't need to say
Yeah,
his name. I know what
yeah,
you're talking about.
yeah. And then like if he was like a 2D artist, for example, everyone knows who he is. Um, if he was to be toxic and then he wanted to get hired, he's going to have a bit of a hard time because not only the community knows, but people in that community are also involved with the industry. So they would know, like, to avoid this person, right? And when you're in this community, like 3D or 2D or any kind of art community, apart from the editing side, uh, these people are actually like, they don't have time to argue. They're trying to make like money, right?
Yeah.
And what they want is criticism. Like, you can say whatever it is on your mind as long as you're not being an asshole, and that's fine. Now, if you're someone like Ian Hubert and you toxic, everyone's just not gonna like
Imagine if
follow or.
imagine if Ian Hubert was toxic. That would be crazy.
Yeah, that would be great. I mean, people would be like, your art is good, but I would not want to work with you. Like that. It's better to work with like a super like a nice artist who
I
just
I
like okay versus like a very very good artist, but he's just an asshole. You know what
Yeah,
I mean?
I think with like 3D, because like a lot of our work comparatively to like an editor can be like a one man show for a lot of the things. With
Yeah.
3D, especially on a big project, you're working with multiple artists. and even 2D projects. Since you're working with so many artists at once, you have to have that. Whereas, like, you know, an AMV editor who's just making a music video for a commission, you know, there's not much working with anybody else. So you can kind of get away with some of those things, but also depends on how you talk to your clients.
And not to mention when you're doing AMVs, you're editing clips, you know. To a certain extent, you did make everything yourself, right?
Yeah, that's
If
why.
you're doing
that's why I wanted to do 3D. You know.
Yeah, same with me. People who wanted to do 2D motion design, they did that. Now, people who do 3D or 2D motion design, animation, concept art, or character stuff, they're making a lot of the stuff. But even if they're using assets or whatever, they're still like it is still like their art or their idea. Where anime editing is just cool. Sometimes it's cool shakes and all of that stuff. Some edits take some real effort though.
Yeah,
you know,
no,
just
there's definitely some.
But then again, there's also like there's not like an industry for it. Like who needs an anime edit? Because the only people who will need those kind of skills are the music video people who do stuff like the anime opening intros, and it's only tailored to those like very small group of like creative styles. Like if you have like the flow editors or like the Twixtor editors is like, I mean, the only way they make money from editing alone is just like pay hips or something like that, just selling their project files or whatever. The other thing is that like is that how like again they're also like they're not even taking permission to actually use like some of these clips or whatever. And lastly is that the editing community is a lot younger than the 3D and 2D stuff. So for example, when it comes to 3D and 2D, they could range from like 15 to at least 50. Sometimes it's younger, it doesn't matter, but like 15 up to like maybe like 50, 60 years old, both 2D, 3D, whatever. But
even older.
Anime editing, it goes from like 9 up to like 20 years old, and the people who stop just straight up have like a different job or
it's usually because they either stop at the end of high school or they're doing it through university for fun. And anybody who does it after that is usually somebody who only posts once a year.
Pretty much. And basically they leave either because they're not interested, they have other things to do or more important things to do, or they found newer interests. Like me, I found my more interested to 3D, and also it is a lot more reasonable and it makes sense. Because as everyone, a lot of people know that as of now at least, like anime editing isn't going to get you anywhere. Does help you like learn After Effects and other stuff like that, but it's not really going to like get you a job that alone. You have to do stuff like other forms of design. Like if you can do like motion design and graphic design, and you can apply those into just like other things, and then you can definitely have like a career path out of it. Otherwise, it doesn't really make sense. I think I remember seeing like I had like a editor friend, and he's like shared on his story. No way did this guy make a flow edit showreel. Who's gonna hire you? And I'm like, oh, could you show it to me? And it's just like I saw the like the showreel, and it's just like flow edits, and it's like, oh, well, it's cool to like just show off what you did.
I get the idea, not as a showreel, but more as like a best of like 2022 sort of
like
thing,
a recap,
like a montage sort of thing. Like I did
like
one where it was, like, all my After Effects edits leading up to this point. I did one that was like that.
Yeah, but like as a recap, that's fine. But just keep aware that's not gonna get you like a job. Like you can't just apply to a studio and be like, well, what am I gonna do with this, kind of thing.
Yeah, no, I mean definitely. At least
for now, I don't know.
There are people who hire flow editors. Like it's usually musicians that make anime or make music, but talk about anime in the music, so they'll use AMVs as a way of marketing it. And that works, and I've seen a lot of flow editors get jobs because of that. But again, it's like quick commissions. It's never really like a big thing.
It's not a big like profitable set. Like can you start a family with like AMVs? No, man. You know, yeah.
I do
You buy a
wanna
car, can you pay rent?
I do wanna
Yeah.
change the topic to what's your favorite game? I'm curious. I'm curious what games you're playing recently because we were talking earlier about
Ah,
the 3D stuff. But
yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
guess what's your favorite game and like what in that game?
I
No,
actually have a lot
not.
of
It's
like.
not even just your favorite game. Well, I guess favorite game, but also like a game that like recently was like your 3D inspo.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So okay, so first, like, okay, my favorite games actually comes in different like categories. You know, like favorite FPS, favorite open world, favorite like tactical shooter.
Uh,
You know, so first of all, like, obviously, my favorite genre would be like the open world.
yes, yeah.
So my favorite open world would be Elden Ring. You know, I've played like Horizon Zero Dawn, No Man's Sky, Satisfactory. That's my favorite one. But I do specifically like the sci-fi genre, and I would say so far my favorite open world sci-fi game would be like No Man's Sky. It's kind of like a space Minecraft kind of thing. Like you can build your own world, you can build stuff, but you also have a big ship. You can have like an army, which is kind
Yeah.
of sick. That's also cool, but I also like other games like Elite Dangerous, which is like another spaceship game. Not for everyone. There's also like my favorite racing game genre, which is Burnout. But favorite open world racing game would be Forza Horizon 4. 4.
Okay.
But you know, but like I just like the Burnout, but unfortunately that series is not as like popular as like or not as invested as other racing games. But the if you tell me what's my favorite game in general, there's actually two of them which I always come back to, and the one is Team Fortress 2, and the other is Roblox. As people, some people think it's weird that I play Roblox. I don't give a shit. It's a great game. It's like
Yeah, I think it's because no one's really played it recently in our age
no,
group.
yeah. I think the other thing is that it is like targeted as a kids game, which it is, but there are also games that are like there are games that are like for 13 and above, and I play most of like the tactical kind of shooter games or anything that's like that. The other thing with Roblox is like it's kind of like the currently the best representation of what the metaverse would look like. You know, like you have your I have my avatar, like my coolest like avatar, and I can go to like any world. Like one game I'm playing with like a plane and a helicopter and a tank. The other game I'm playing a tower defense, and then the next game I'm like in like a survival kind of thing. So that's kind of how it is.
I feel like
Um,
VR chat is more like the metaverse to be fair, because it's
yeah,
similar,
try.
but like in terms of the amount of games that you can play, Roblox probably has a beat.
I know. I think VR chat is like this, the other really good representation because it's also VR. It's immersive, and because they don't have those like blocky
Blo-
models,
Yeah.
you can actually become those avatars as well. In Roblox, you can actually like cosplay. Like I would like playing like a game, right? Like a shooting game. At first, I'm like playing with I'm like riding like a Star Wars plane. I jump out the plane. I'm on a lighthouse. I'm shooting. I'm next to like a fellow teammate who's like a stormtrooper. He's currently shooting Tanjiro, and then there's the guy who kills us, who's like in like like the Moai emoji,
The what emoji?
the Moai, the stonehead
Oh
emoji.
yeah, yeah,
You know. Yeah, yeah. I get killed by that, and then I come to spawn, and then I see like a ferry in a jet, in an A10 Warthog. He's about to fly off, and then and then someone invites me to like their squad or whatever. He like come inside the truck, and I sit down. Who is next to me? It's some guy cosplaying like a Genshin character, like I don't know, like Yula or Diluc or something. And
yeah.
who am I playing as? I'm just playing like some Dark Souls guy with like a cool robe or whatever. And then I reset, and then I'm Doge, you know.
And then I'm
And
Doge.
I'm like, do. And then I'm like, I'm Doge, and I take out my weapon. It's the Halo energy sword. And then I put it back, and I shoot with like a 50 caliber, and it's like, I shoot
Yeah.
someone in the plane, and the guy in the plane is Spider-Man. It's like it's pretty cool. And then VR chat's kind of the same thing. Like I'm in a cafe. I'm talking to like the Jojo Bizarre guy. I don't know whose name is. I
Jojo. Just
and
Joseph,
right,
probably.
yeah, right next to me is like Venti from Genshin, and then you have like Hinata from Naruto. And then
And
it's
then
like
and then
it's
you just have
really
and then you have like a PNG guy that's just like he's just a block.
yeah
walking around.
A PNG guy could be like Donald Trump or something, or more critical, and it'd just be like, what are you laughing at, bro? And then there'll be like a corner of like those custom avatars, and they're talking about like weird life shit. And then there's the other corner where people is talking about like memes and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
and then you have that one big mirror in every world that all the anime characters go to, and they make out and do weird things. Yeah.
That's the part that I stray away from. Like, I just come here like to play the game.
I
But
do.
whenever
Like,
I
I
see,
go over there to laugh for a little bit, and then I go and do whatever else.
yeah, a few friends of mine, we actually downloaded like a Zenitsu avatar, and it had like a breakdance taunt like emote inside it. And there were people having like a deep conversation, and we just came in just breakdancing, like like the head spin, and we were
Yeah.
just spinning around, and you could like speed it up, and we were just falling around, and everyone was like, "Stop, bro! We're having a deep conversation." We were pretty annoying, and that was like, it was like. That's what I like about both like
Yeah, VR chat's
VR
a
chat,
little
Robert.
weird.
It can get like a bit ridiculous and stuff like that. I like that game.
Yeah, I think favorite game for me though, currently, I think it's because I beat it is Red Dead. Just currently.
I mean,
but like
since you beat it, the
3D,
story is really good,
the
right?
story
Like,
is really good. I'm a little mad about how when you end a game, you can continue playing the game even after you beat it.
Yeah.
I kind of hated how, like, when the game ended and I was playing it, I didn't get to play the. Yeah.
Arthur.
I mean, I didn't want to spoil. Yeah, you can't play as you can't play as him, and I was mad.
Yeah, I mean that was super depressing. I did the honorable route.
I did too, but it was by accident. I just accidentally got like a completely 100% honor. I literally played the game. I was like, I'm just gonna go based off of what I think is right, and if I feel bad for somebody, I feel bad, and I won't do anything. And I played that way, and I just got the honorable route.
I think Red Dead Redemption is the best at like making you feel bad about killing the NPCs because it sounds so authentic, right?
Yeah.
I wanted to do. I searched up a video like I wanted to get this like gun and this cool gear, and these ammunition's getting like a little expensive, so I'm like, how do you make money? And it's like rob a train in the middle of this tunnel. So I'm like, oh, bet. So I go in this tunnel, right? Because in the tunnel, and you're also like next to a bridge. The police can actually they can't like reach you.
Yeah.
There's like a bit of like an exploit, right? So I'm like, give me your money, and they're like, take it, and I'm like. You know what? Maybe they have, because I think if you also shoot them, they might be keeping something extra, right? And then I shoot one of them, and because it's so like detailed and gory, it's like damn.
Yeah.
And they start like having like very serious screams and stuff
so
like that.
So I had a train robbery that went on for 30 minutes because I was in Saint Denis, which is that like big ass town or city that's in the game.
Yeah, I know.
So I was in there and the train pulled up. Or it was a little bit before I got into Saint Denis. I got into the train. The train didn't stop, and then I started getting wanted. So I kept driving the train, and the cops were following me for literally 20 minutes until I got to this one tunnel, and then only 2 cops followed me. So then I killed them, and then I robbed the train, and I was like, God.
Wait. So you took the train from Saint Denis, which is basically the most like dangerous area for cops because it's so populated.
Yeah.
And you took the train from there because
and I drove all the way. I literally drove from the bottom of the map to the top of the map.
That's pretty far considering how big.
Because
RDR
it kept
is.
following me. And I was like,
yeah, it's a bit. Yeah.
I had like over like a $2,000 bounty at that point because I was killing so many cops.
Jesus, dude, I actually try doing like, cause in like GTA and like Watch Dogs as well, like any open world game that's like set in like a city, at least once I'll do like a massacre kind of run, like kill all the cops.
Yeah, I did that at the end of the game.
I did it in Saint Denis. I didn't really last very long because oof, they make it feel like that. They'll really like shoot you down. But it was cool. I had like the dual like revolvers. I forgot which. No, dual like the pistols with the slide.
Yeah, I had like, that one too. I bought that like right at the end of the game. I was like, oh, I'm gonna buy the semi-auto, and just like.
Yeah. That was like super cool as well. Yeah. And then like the slow motion thing, the dead eye. You're like, oh, that was really cool.
I feel like Deadeye
Red
was
Dead
from
Redemption.
Fallout. Yeah, Red Dead's cool. I kind of it's been a very good inspo though for 3D stuff. Even at like it, because I actually had to bump the quality down at the end of the game, even though I was playing at ultra quality for like pretty much all of it. But I bumped the quality down, and I was noticing like how low res some of the textures were, but it didn't feel like it even at low res because if you're not looking directly at something, the world is there's so much detail in it that you don't notice.
Yeah, I think for me, No Man's Sky, apart from Elden Ring, No Man's Sky and like Forza Horizon are the ones that give me like the most inspo. Not No Man's Sky because of like the colorful and abstract environments, but Forza Horizon because like they involve like a lot of like 2D motion graphics on like like LED screens in game, and it's like this looks really, like pretty cool. So that's how games inspire me. But I think for me, like TV shows and movies do it more. I guess I play the game just to play the game.
Yeah, I do too. I mean,
Um,
I have Cyberpunk obviously, but Rocket League, Overwatch, like
oh,
most
Rocket
of
League
the,
is another good one as well
yeah, like
because of like
those
the
games I can drown out to. Red Dead, I wasn't even focused so much on the 3D. It was just more an afterthought, if anything, because I was very invested in the story and the gameplay. But
yeah.
yeah, games are hard
But
to get inspo from unless you're maybe making like a remake like I am with Cyberpunk and you're like looking at the
yeah, yeah,
3D.
yeah. And then I have like the tactical shooters as well, and I honestly can't pick between if I like CS:GO or Valorant more because I pretty much like both of them.
I
I
like
feel like
Valorant more.
they feel they both to me at least feel like different games. Like CS:GO has like I for me I see it has like a lot more satisfying mechanics. But I do like Valorant for like the abilities, the colors, and the really like interesting like animations, like the cool dragon or whatever. Like
Yeah.
and
I
they
Valorant to
like
me is
ridiculous.
literally just CS:GO but Overwatch, and I'm pretty sure everyone's made that comparison.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it is, and I think that's what I like about it. But I also like CS:GO because of like the satisfying knife thing. The other
Yeah,
big factor is the resale value of like skins. Like you can sell it afterward and stuff like that. But at Valorant, you just
you fucking
keep it.
gambler.
But but I like them both. But I just come back to it every now and then. What I don't like about CS:GO is like the custom game modes, like jailbreak and the zombie thingy and all of that stuff. But
Yeah.
Valorant, I do feel like I feel like I can play Valorant more casually because of the ridiculous like abilities and stuff like that, and it can get a bit chaotic depending on the kind of team that you have. It's pretty hilarious as well. But yeah, I mean
Damn.
those games. But Valorant does give me inspo, specifically with their like skins and sprays because they have like the interesting animations and all of that kind of
Yeah,
stuff.
and some of the cosmetics in general are just nice, like the way that it's modeled, I guess, in the
Yeah.
3D perspective.
Team Fortress 2 actually, what I like about that game, I think the most was like the different classes and stuff like that and how unique they are, and the cosmetics. And there are these things called like unusuals, which is basically an equivalent of like a knife in CS:GO, and they're just basically hats with particle effects. And you got like a flaming one with a star. Those are super cool. I got one with like it's like a This is another thing I like about TF2 is it's also like you can cosplay. So I have this one character. He's like the heavy. He's like the biggest guy.
Yeah.
He 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 admires his sandwich so much. So I got a hat. It's like it has like a rig. It's like a bouncing like sandwich that goes up and down whenever he moves, and it moves like round and all of that stuff like that. And I got like this effect that's like this big like galactic beam effect that looks cool, and I just like play it and like boing 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 whatever and stuff like that. So there's that, and then I think I have another one where this is like orange liquid kind of effect, and it's like a little toy tank on top of his head. It's pretty ridiculous, right?
Yeah.
And then also you have like if you wanted to cosplay, they have like the Batman thing. They do have the Breaking Bad, like literally the same exact thing from the Breaking Bad. I think they call it like the cook or something. The hat. They have the CS:GO up because it's Valve,
Yeah.
and they have the Assassin's Creed like knife, the sheath, and the hood as well. With the little like arrow thing.
Yeah.
So you can do that as well. Like, because it's also Valve, you also have like the custom maps and stuff. And I'm a big fan of games that are like chaotic, really like large explosions, stuff like that. It's like you have no idea what's going on. That's what TF2 is, you know, and that's the you also get that in Roblox as well, where it's like there's just so much going on, and it just looks like a clusterfuck. And I'm like, you know, this is the kind of game that I like playing, and that's why I also like Valorant, and you know, with all the cool abilities, and it's all just chaos and whatever. But I do like games, you know, like in CS:GO, where it's just quiet and you're trying to be tactical and serious. That's also pretty fun as well.
Yeah.
But you know, if you know,
Do you ever play with like cheats or anything? Like, is that like a fun thing for you to play a game and fill it with cheat codes?
mm, honestly, not really. I would prefer. I mean, I do play with it just to just try things out or test things. Like for example, in Elden Ring, I'll test with cheats. Like, I don't know, is this weapon good, or what if I did this and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But then I'll go to my like original build. You know, like I'll try like, oh yeah, because like I don't.
I
I think it just ruins like the difficulty
Yeah,
because it becomes too
definitely
easy.
it
You know?
definitely does.
So
Because I beat Red Dead plain, and then I restarted it, and I just added all the cheats that I could. Some of them required
yeah, yeah,
stuff
yeah.
in parts of the story that you need to get, and then you can get the cheat. Like infinite ammo, you need to buy like the first newspaper in the first chapter of the game, and I was like, "What the fuck?" Okay.
Yeah,
Um,
but it also yeah, sorry. It depends also on the kind of game that I'm playing. So if I'm playing Minecraft, I don't give a shit. The cheat that I'm always playing
cheat
with is
cheats
keep
are
inventory.
cheats are a little
Like
different in
what?
Minecraft, but I think it's because it's like more mods that you get for it.
No, yeah, more mods. I'll definitely play, depending on like the kind of mod. But like
Yeah.
I'll play with cheats depending on like the situation. So like in Minecraft, I always keep the option keep inventory on. So whenever I
Oh
die,
yeah, I
I
always
don't
keep that
lose my
on.
stuff.
No,
It's
no
it's
one
always it's
wants that
always with
off.
me.
Yeah, unless someone's
But
playing
some
like a
people, some
hardcore map on
yeah, some people will
stream.
do it because you know they want to challenge themselves. But for me, I'm like, you know, I found this diamond just now. I don't want to lose it, and then sometimes I'll get lost in like a cave. It really annoys me. So I'll just like, what I do is just I don't want to waste some time here because at the end of the day, like my goal is just to have fun with the game. And you know, I don't mind a challenge, but I don't want to make it too hard to the point where it becomes like a chore.
Yeah,
So I'll just be like, you know what? I'll keep inventory on. I'm just gonna jump off this cliff and spawn back to my like base and be like, you know, it's all good and stuff like that. You know?
understandable.
Can I order? I don't probably shouldn't order. I love to. I have this thing where I just like to like I do like ordering food because some of they're like you know there's some food that like I wouldn't know how to make like how do you make like these waffles? We don't know this fried chicken and stuff like that. Like I don't know how to make that. I can make fried rice or
I mean,
something.
I can make pretty much any food, but I like cooking.
I'm not really. I'm not really like a good cook. My brother is though. He's actually like he's actually studying it apparently because in my school that I was in, they have a lot more like different courses than you know than I like because like back then
Mm-hmm.
we didn't have those like kind of courses, but now there's like a nutrition course and they learn about like cooking and all of that stuff, which is kind of cool.
Nice.
So there's that. So he's gotten really like into cooking and
Yeah,
whatever.
I like
Uh,
cooking a lot, but that's just I don't know. Cooking
I
is kind
should
of fun,
I definitely
and most of the
I
time
should
I'll learn
definitely
something, but also like if it's something you're not prepared to cook, like you don't have everything, then yeah, ordering food's kind of where you
yeah.
go on
But
that.
it's not that I can't like I can cook some stuff, but I have to do it repetitively so it gets ingrained in my mind. Like I can cook like very like some stuff that I'm able to cook would be like just like second nature kind of thing. And then
Yeah,
but I don't really know how to cook like any like
anything
advanced
new
stuff.
kind of
Like
thing.
I briefly know how to make like 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 the chicken that's like coated with like breadcrumbs and stuff. If you
I
know what
mean
that
that
is.
yeah, that's easy. You just egg, flour,
Yeah, egg,
breadcrumbs,
flour.
another
Yeah,
layer of
I
egg.
yeah. I
Simple.
forgot. I remember I used to know how to cook like pasta, like white sauce pasta, but any kind of like pasta, like
I
spaghetti,
mean,
and it
pasta's
tastes
easy. You just
it
boil it
it
for like 7 minutes, and then you
yeah
heat up the sauce, and then you pour the sauce on it.
yeah. That tastes so good. It's
It is.
really good, but
I made like a feta
yeah.
cheese thing yesterday, which is feta cheese
Yeah.
with like
Uh,
tomatoes, baby
yeah.
tomatoes.
If I had like a kitchen full of stuff just to make like a club sandwich, I'll just eat it every day. I'm a big. If you ask me
You like
what kind of
sandwiches?
my favorite kind of food would be like sandwiches, basically. Any
Ah,
kind of sandwiches.
Yeah,
I like club
sandwiches
or
kind of hit, especially if the bread's
wait,
right.
like
Like you can't just have like
it's
wheat
not
bread.
just yeah, it's not just I'm talking about like like the hot dogs and burgers and all that kind of stuff. I kind of like those. I do like like potatoes with whatever meat or rice and this. But for the most part, I just like having like the sandwiches and all that stuff because it's like
They're
I guess
easier.
like first of all, they're easy and I do like eating handheld sometimes.
Mm.
Uh, and I also like I'm being able to pack it as well.
Yeah.
The other thing is that I do sometimes. I'm not sure about you, but I do appreciate for some sandwiches like I do like them when they're cold, like cold.
Yeah.
In some places they taste good.
Some of them definitely. I mean, it depends if you're unless you're like, okay, I want like fresh bacon, like that's just cooked. I want the bread to be toasted. I want
They don't
like
have
maybe
to
like
be,
they
but
don't have to be, but it's one of those things that sometimes you're just in the mood for, and you're already making it
yeah,
for
yeah,
lunch.
yeah,
So then you're home, you make
yeah.
it. You're good.
I was doing like when I went to Switzerland, I was doing like basic like skiing things, and there was like a short break in between, and we got this sandwich from like a store, and they tasted so good. Maybe because I was hungry, but it tasted really good, and I'm like, this is the definition of like a good cold sandwich because I like cold sandwiches and stuff like that. And
Yeah.
then when I'm at home, and then I have like a warm sandwich, I'm like, yeah,
Ah,
it tastes good.
yeah.
It's also it also comes for so if you ask me what my favorite kind of sandwich is, because
I was
I'm
about to
in the
ask that
UAE,
actually. Yeah.
do you know what a shawarma is?
I've heard of it, but I don't know what's in it.
It's like a wrap, but it's just Arab.
Oh,
It's
okay.
Lebanese. It is contains like it's like this chicken.
Okay.
It's like one of those chicken on like the spinning pole.
Oh
They
yeah,
cut it
yeah,
down.
yeah, yeah. I've seen that.
Yeah,
I've had
it's
that
filled with
actually,
like
but I've never
it's
had the
filled with
sandwich.
fries and garlic. There are pickles. I'm not a big fan of the pickles inside. So if I can, I'll order without it. Otherwise, I don't mind
Yeah,
eating it.
the combo
But
of fries with chicken and that doesn't sound
they
great with
taste
pickles.
yeah they taste so good. They're not very expensive, and they do give you like a filling as well.
Mm.
And like there's just one place that I order from that I'll always order every now and then if I'm in the mood for shawarma and order like five. In and I don't think like five. By the way, five shawarmas are like like regular like average size, which is it's just like small and they in length, and it's like this thick, kind of like
Damn.
this this thick, right? And if you get like a medium, it's like this, and long is like slightly longer. And I'll get like five of those, and I'll
Damn.
finish it by the end of the day. At one point, I think I ordered like seven or eight or something like that, and I just finished everything in like a day because it just tasted so good.
Yeah, no, that's
It's like
understandable. I think
I
my
love
favorite
shawarma.
sandwich, this is debatable. There's two, but I'm thinking one's gonna overpower the other. So I either like just a flat like a straight up BLT, bacon, lettuce, tomato with maybe some cheese or something.
That's
Um,
pretty. I mean, I'm a
that
big fan. That's like simple.
yeah,
Just
it's simple. Or egg, bacon, cheese. It's more of a breakfast thing, but I also like eggs at
dude,
any point of the day. So
how do you feel about like sandwiches from like Subway and stuff? Those are
Subway's
like
not bad once in a while.
once
And
in a year, once in a while, but it's not really what.
I don't know, some of the meat section there is not great. So a lot of times when I order from Subway, I'll get like just bacon because I know you can't really fuck up bacon. So I don't know, I'll order something with bacon on it, and that's probably the only meat. But yeah,
I
Subway's not
mean,
Subway's not bad.
some restaurants don't really have good bacon. Like I don't know about there, but
Do you like
here
crispy
IHOP.
bacon?
Yeah, I prefer crispy bacon because
You
in
don't like
IHOP they
fatty
don't really
bacon?
serve. No, I don't like the chewy kind of thing. Like, because when I ordered from IHOP, I guess the bacon didn't have any like taste. I'm like, this is
No,
IHOP. You got like
that's
great.
understandable. It's the same
Yo, you
here
got
because
great. You,
sometimes they order it for as like a breakfast or a lunch thing, and I'm like, I hate it. It doesn't taste great.
at
I
the
mean,
pancake shop, so it's breakfast.
their whole menu is awful. I don't know. I don't like it.
I mean, I'm a big fan of IHOP's food, except for their bacon. Like, I like their hash browns, their do cheese sandwiches and stuff like
It might
that.
be
But
different
just
there,
their
but it is
bacon is like their bacon is maybe it's different here, but I like
because the
IHOP.
bacon
Well,
that we
well,
have is the only part that I like about the food. there, but it's also not even the best bacon they've eaten.
Yeah, I remember. So because we're in like different countries, right?
Yeah.
I've eaten McDonald's in pretty much most of the countries that I've been to. Even like, is that McDonald's in I don't remember, but
What do you think's the best one?
I mean, it doesn't really, maybe because I'm biased because I've eaten it here so much. I guess I would say it here.
That makes
Here
sense.
they even serve. They don't just serve like like the other just general like popular McDonald's stuff like the McChicken or the Big Mac.
That's what
They
I get.
also have like they also have like chicken katsu with rice. McDonald's chicken
Oh,
katsu. Yeah.
that sounds good.
It's like decent. It's not amazing, but it's not mid. It's like it's decent, and it's
Yeah.
super cheap as well.
I just get the
In the
McChicken and
yeah
a large fry.
in the Philippines you can actually get like just anywhere, even KFC, McDonald's, maybe even in Subway you can just get rice, straight up rice. Just give it to you. But I think the worst one, which is kind of ironic, was in New York. Because when we went there for McDonald's, my mom, my dad, and my brother and I, we were like, we can't wait to try McDonald's because this is where it comes from, right? So we enter the McDonald's thing. First of all, it was super crowded. This is the most crowded McDonald's we've ever been to compared to any other McDonald's we've been to in any other country,
Yeah,
right? Like,
anytime they're
you
that
know,
crowded, it's never gonna be that good,
yeah,
especially in
it
the
is
States.
like. Yeah. So it's like, wow, this is like, McDonald's in like Finland, that was crowded. McDonald's here, it's crowded as well. But this is like a next level. Like, there's no seats. There's so many people out here that we get into like the counter. We start ordering. We're like, oh, I'm gonna order like, my usual food. So
Yeah.
we have the. I look at I tried the food and there's like the hash brown, right?
Mm.
I'm not sure if the hash brown is
Wait,
different
the
in.
hash brown at McDonald's?
Yeah.
Ew, God.
Okay, wait. Here
It's
we are.
the worst hash brown that I've
So
ever had in my
the
life. Is
the
a
hash
McDonald's
brown
hash brown.
in McDonald's in US is terrible, but the hash brown over here in McDonald's in the Emirates,
Is
they
it
are
soft?
one of
Is it soft
it,
in the
it's
Emirates?
here it's like soft. It's like I'll show it to you. Hold on.
No, you don't
Um,
need to show it to me. I just need it because I know it's gonna look the same, but it's not. Like we have like a crispy one, and I hate it because it's so hard and dry. I like when like hash browns are all mushy and shit. I do actually have a
okay,
question
okay,
for you
okay,
because
okay,
this
okay.
might be the debate
No,
of the third
I'll
party
actually
podcast.
wait. Yeah, wait. Before we get to it, I'll show you the hash brown.
All right.
Hash brown McDonald's. Now I say it's the same, but it tastes extremely different from how it is here. So can you see it? Can I
Um,
wait? Let me.
you want to send it to me on Instagram?
No, I wanna. So like people can like see this crap. Wait, can
Cover
I can't.
cover. Oh yeah, I can see it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's basically what it
So,
looks like here. It's just not.
now
I don't know if it's as
now
crispy.
yeah, this is the hash brown, right? Now over here, it tastes good. It tastes better than the French fries. Like if it was like a side, instead of the French fries, people would buy that instead of the French fries because it tastes so good. But when it went to New York, it's like we all looked at each other. We were like, "Why does it taste like cardboard? Like, where's the
Yeah, it's
taste?
not. It's
Isn't
not
McDonald's
good.
supposed to be here?" And then
It
and
is,
then
but like everyone here gets like the fries are the main thing. A
yeah,
McChicken's definitely top tier in my
the
opinion.
McChicken is good, pretty good.
And then I
But
guess they're burgers, but I'm not a big fan of the fast food
this
burgers.
is here is like they have like very good like flavor, and like I guess that's where I realized like not all places like are the same in terms of like similar restaurants and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like um McDonald's in Hungary, which is like the most recent one I've had. I don't think I've had one in Switzerland, but in Hungary is quite different to here. First of all, McDonald's over here does not serve iced tea, which is like my favorite kind of drink. They do serve it in KFC, but not McDonald's.
Mm.
And their McDonald's over there, they had
Oh.
what I wanted to order, and they had iced tea, and I'm like, damn. And it tasted pretty good. The fries tasted the same as here. I guess they're. I'm not sure about you, but my favorite burger from McDonald's is the fish fillet. If you know what that
Yeah, the
is.
fish fillet is good. Well, I mean, I wouldn't consider that a burger, but also like
Yes.
the hamburger part, I I just don't like at fast food places.
Yeah,
I'll
but,
eat it
but
if
for
it's
me, it's like
necessary, but
yeah, I like it because it's like it's also simple. It's not as messy compared to other burgers, and it's like
well, that's why I like
I
the McChicken or like the fish fillet. It's like it just has better flavor to me than like their burger,
yeah.
which is very plain. You rely a lot on the condiments for it.
Yeah, yeah, but but I was very disappointed because I was really hoping, But I will say, I think Red Lobster was the what in New York. That was really good. It tastes a lot better than Red Lobster here.
Red Lobster is pretty good.
Well, yeah, Red Lobster is pretty good.
I mean, a lot of
Do
the
you have
food places here are good. What were you gonna say?
yeah? Do you have Texas Roadhouse
Yeah, I was
over there?
actually about to mention that.
Yeah.
Do you, well, I wasn't gonna mention
Here, but here it's amazing. Texas Roadhouse is amazing, but I'm just thinking
Texas
because
Roadhouse
it's
is
not a
really
fast
good
food
here.
place.
It's
I'm
not fast
thinking in
food.
the U.S. it probably tastes like pretty good. Maybe the
Wait,
same,
is
but like
Texas
over
Roadhouse
here,
fast food for you guys?
no, it's not.
Oh, I was about to say it's a restaurant.
No, we're saying it's not fast food. It's a restaurant.
Yeah.
Fast food is just like KFC, McDonald's, Burger King.
Yeah, I Texas Roadhouse brings me to my point because I didn't know this was gonna be like a debate. But do you like fat on your steaks? Do you just not like fat? Fat is like the flavor, so I'm curious.
I don't mind.
You don't
You
mind
mean you mean like
the
the part that you
chewy,
will
the part that people normally cut off their steak.
I do cut it. I don't mind eating it. I do cut it off anyway. I don't mind eating it, but I think like I was like I don't. Is it like can you even digest it properly compared to other foods?
It's just
For example,
fat. I don't know. I mean,
it's like I'll
I
eat
eat
it.
it all the
I'll
time.
eat it, but it's not like I don't hate it. I'm not like fond of it. I can eat
I
it, but it's just like
love the fat
I
on
don't know, I
steaks.
just
It has all the
you
flavor that like you're missing so much flavor. I'm sorry.
I mean maybe it's tastier there. It's like you can think of it as like eating the pizza without the crust. I do eat the crust by the way, but that's how I would treat that part of like meat or pork.
No, crust is different. I'm not a super
I
big
love the
fan of
crust.
crust, but like I will eat it. I always eat it.
So yeah, so you don't. I am not a big fan of the fat, but you're not a big fan of the crust. But we don't mind eating
Boneless
either.
chicken or bone-in chicken.
Oh, do you prefer boneless or bone in chicken?
Bone in. I think the chicken's
Bone
better.
in.
I don't know. The
I
chicken's
would
just
say
better.
that I do like without the bone. But
If it's convenient, yeah.
if there's a big difference in the taste, like I'll eat the one with the bone, because obviously that's the one with the taste. But if there's no bone and it just tastes like somewhat like the same or something, I'll eat the one without the bone, just for convenience sake, because I can eat
Yeah.
the whole thing.
Yeah,
But
I mean,
whenever I
boneless chicken is weird because you'll just, I don't know, like a lot of the times you get it at like a wing place where they'll sauce that motherfucker up, or it's like a chicken nugget or something, and then it's good. But bone in, I don't know if it's because it's more natural and it's less like chucked up like different parts of the chicken, and it's like an actual piece, like a leg or something. I don't know if that just makes it better to me because I'm getting different flavors. But like boneless, it's all just it's the breast, it's the leg, it's like
yeah
some other part, or it's like bone marrow, and they're like fucking chucking it all up
yeah
into
yeah
like a fucking ball and then frying
yeah.
it.
What's your favorite chicken part? You know,
Mm, that's hard. I really like chicken.
I have a clear answer for this one.
I
Like the leg,
guess yeah, the
like
leg, the leg, or like the drumstick part, which is basically the leg. I like that. The wings are good, and I
yeah.
like the breast. I'm not a
I'm
big fan
okay
of
with
thigh.
anything, but I will always prefer the leg because first of all, the cartoons made me like
Yeah,
biased
same.
good
Yeah,
with it, and the second is just good. I can just hold it like a stick, and I can
yeah.
just like, and you know,
I
yeah, but I'll take the I'm like a leg gang, like,
yeah, I love
what's
legs.
legs? Yeah, chicken. Man, I'm hungry.
I'm hungry
Maybe I
too.
should
I'm
order
hungry
KFC.
too. I'm gonna heat up
Maybe I
my
should
my
order it
feta
later.
thing later. We could wrap up the podcast. It's been an hour and 5 minutes. It's up to you, unless you want to talk about a little bit more.
No, I'm good. I say this was pretty good, like pretty refreshing compared to like all the other artsy stuff. How did we
Yeah.
get into food, by the way? We got into games. How did we get into like food? I remember we got into like games and TV, but
How did we?
what led us into like food?
I
You
don't
said
know.
something like, "What's your?" But it was
I
good,
asked
but
about what your favorite game was. We talked about
yeah,
that.
yeah.
and then somehow we
Maybe it
got
led
into
to that.
food because we were hungry, or because I
Maybe.
came back and with this, and we had a break for like 2 seconds,
Oh
and
yeah,
then
maybe
you were talking about
that's what led
ordering
to this
food.
conversation.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. That's what. Yeah, I sparked the conversation then. Because it just got order. It came into my mind like order food,
Food.
order.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that was fun. It's up to you. Do you want to?
Yep.
Well, I guess yeah. Let's just wrap this up quick. Do you want to do the
You can wrap
outro?
it up. Yeah. Fuck. What was the thing? Yeah. It's a me. It's a me.
It's a me.
It's
It's
so
a
yeah.
me,
It's me,
Alex.
Alex, and we have Josh. Was it this side? This yeah, whatever. This side. This is the third party podcast. We'll see you next week.
Yes.
If it does get uploaded, he edits the thing.
Yeah, I edited the thing.
And
It'll be
yeah,
uploaded.
and yeah, the
I'm editing 2 podcasts now on a weekend instead of 1
yeah,
because Alex wants to
yeah,
do this
and
once a
the
week, which is fine. I wanted to.
yeah, and the podcast is sponsored by Skillshare and
Yes.
Doobie. I don't
And
know the
Doobie.
code, so you
Yeah. We don't. So we have a little ad break where we talk about Skillshare, but that's kind of part of the thing. Doobie doesn't really ask for that, so there's just a code and description for you guys.
Yep.
It's not something that we need to constantly shut out.
Right.
But I'm drinking it. It's really good. Blueberry, raspberry. Or I got raspberry. It's jitterless.
Right.
All that stuff. It's a small company, so support your small companies, and they support creators like us, like small creators. I was surprised we got the Skillshare thing, but they support like a lot of small creators, so definitely go check them out. Anyways, peace out, guys. We'll see you next week with a guest.
Yeah.
Damn, that's not gonna be for like. That's not gonna be until like March. Now that I just realized. Anyways, peace.